we're doing multiplying fractions, chapter 4, lesson 6. Multiplying fractions, I think, is so much easier than adding and subtracting. And I know when we do whole numbers, adding and subtracting is easier than multiplying and dividing. When we added and subtracted fractions, how did I make you guys write it?
Up and down.
Up and down. When you're going to do multiplying and dividing, I always want them going across. Okay? They give us a real world example here that we already started reading about eating cheeseburgers at the cafeteria. I want you to, we're going to draw on this and go over that, but I'm going to write the mathematical way I want you to have it written over here. Okay? I'm not worried about you looking at a picture, drawing diagrams. What I need you to know how to do is just set up the multiplication problem and do it. So we said there's 12 students at the lunch table. 2/3 of the students ordered a hamburger for lunch. This is the include word. The include words. 1/2 of. Okay? You're underlining that. You're circling the word of, because of means to do what? Multiply. So it's 1/2 of those students. Those students were the 2/3. So if I would actually set up my problem, I would have 1/2 of my 2/3, not of the 12. Do you guys understand that? Okay? So then, and I hope you're writing this down. I see a lot of pencils moving, which is excellent. So I have 1/2 times 2/3. And then I'm going to do, most of you would just do 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Then at the end, you're going to reduce by 2. What you're going to learn, but where I'm going to push you towards in this lesson, is reducing before you multiply. Cross-canceling, yes. So I'm going to show that right now. Now, you can show it by doing this, okay, because I can reduce those and then I just mark a line through it, and I'm dividing 2 by 2, which is 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1. You don't have to make that circle if you don't want to. You can just mark out those numbers. Does that make sense? Whenever you do cross-canceling, can I also do it, let's say I had, you don't have to write this down, 2/4 times 1/3. I can't reduce the 2 and the 3 or the 1 and the 4, but can I reduce the 2 and the 4?
Yeah.
So you can reduce that first also. And that would be 1/2. And then I would just do 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 3 is 6. Does that make sense? You guys understand that? Okay.
A little bit.
When you are reducing it, reduce all the way. Now, even if I reduced in my problem, sometimes you still might have to reduce at the end after you've multiplied. So be careful. So let's look at our diagram, what they want us to show, just so you guys can have this as an example. It says draw an X through the students that did not order a hamburger. Well, 12 students at the lunch table, 2/3 of the students ordered a hamburger. So if this is a third, do I have that in thirds?
Yeah.
2 of these sections ordered a hamburger. So these kids did not, so I'm going to put an X through those. Then it says of what was left, so of this part, 1/3 or 1/2 add cheese. So this is like 2/3, so what's half of it?
1/3. No, 1/2. Wait.
Yeah,
No.
it would be what was our answer?
1/3.
1/3, because that's 1/3 of the students. How many of you found it easier just by when we did our problem than looking at the picture? That's me. That's me. It's so much easier for me just to set up the math problem and do the math. Turn the page. But you have to find those. You have to find those clue words. So it says in words, to multiply fractions, multiply the numerators and multiply the denominators. So it's always numerator times numerator, then denominator times denominator. And it says where D does not equal 0. So you can never have 0 at the bottom. Okay? Then it says when multiplying two fractions, write the product in simplest form. That's when I stress. Reduce it. Make it into a mixed number. Okay, don't leave it an improper fraction. And then it says, if this is the case, you can simplify before multiplying. So that's where we were just showing you multiplying first. Some of these are pretty easy. 1/2 times 1/3. Can I reduce anything? No. So what you do on your paper, you just write out the problem and then show your lines, because sometimes that's where people make mistakes. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 3 is 6, and your answer is 1/6 because I cannot reduce 1/6. Anybody struggling there? Okay. 2 times a negative 3/4. So in this lesson too, you're going to see some negative answers. What do I put 2 over? So all I need to see is you rewrite it. 2 over 1 times a negative 3 over 4. What am I going to reduce? The 2 and the 4. By 2, right?
Yeah.
Show that. That's all the work I have to show. And then show your lines. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 2 is 2. But come back and look. Oh, hey, I got a positive and a negative, so my answer is going to be negative. But then I'm also going to look at this. Can I leave it as?
No.
No.
1 and 1/2.
So if you don't know how to make that a mixed number in your head, if you do, you're just going to say it's negative 1 and 1/2. If you don't know that, you're going to show a negative 3 divided by 2. 2 goes into 3 once. 1 left, so it's 1 and 1/2. Does that make sense? Okay. How many of you are very comfortable changing the improper fraction to a mixed number? Okay, and if we're kind of in between a little bit, which is okay, you're going to do it this way.
Yeah, because I like get messed up sometimes on when
And
you
then
use numerator and denominator, which one is which, yeah.
Numerator's always on top, and that's always on the inside.
Yeah, that part.
Okay, and that's fine. You just fill it out, and then we try not to alleviate mistakes that way. Example 3 says 2/7 times a negative 3/8. You write out the problem. What am I going to reduce? What am I going to reduce?
2 and the 8.
2 and the 8.
Oh, yeah.
By 2. That becomes a 1. This becomes a 4. 1 times 3 is 3. 7 times 4 is
28.
28. And I have 1 negative, so that has to stay
Negative.
negative. Can I reduce it anymore?
No.
I'm done. That's it. Take a second and try to do A, B, and C. Once you're done with those 3, all 3, stand up.